up, you guys? It's Annie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. So for today's video, I'm doing my much requested and anticipated what's on my iPhone 13 Pro. So exactly a week ago today, last Friday, I did the unboxing of my new phone, and the #1 most requested video since has been a what's on my iPhone, sharing with you what I love about the phone, my favorite features, all my favorite apps, how I have it laid out, and all of that. So that is exactly what I'm doing in today's video and showing you what's on my iPhone. So as for the phone itself, like I said, it is the 13 Pro. It is in this gorgeous gold color. I am obsessed with the color. On the back of it, I have this case that's kind of a clear and glittery type of case. One thing I noted when I did my unboxing is how incredibly lightweight the phone is. Like, there is a massive battery in this thing, and it is super lightweight. And still, my #1 favorite thing about this phone is the squared off edges. I can't even tell you how much easier it actually makes to carry around the phone. The more like rounded edges on my iPhone 11 made it near impossible to grip onto and hold onto, and these squared off edges make the biggest difference. Also, in terms of battery life, I know that like the second you get a new phone, obviously the battery life is incredible, but one of the main selling points of the iPhone 13 Pro is supposedly the battery life. So far, for the last week I've had it, I will wake up at like 6 or 7 a.m. and by noon it's like just barely at 90%. So the battery life has been incredible. I could just honestly ramble on and on about everything I love about this phone, but pretty much all of that was said in the Apple event. So if you want a more like tech side of things, like all the perks of the phone, definitely go watch like iJustine or somebody. But from a non-tech normal person, definitely my favorite features are how light it is, the battery life, the squared off edges, and all of that stuff. So now let's get into what is actually on my iPhone. So for the love of me, I can never actually get the lock screen to hold its recording, so I'm just going to hold it up in front of the camera. So this is my current lock screen. It's basically just a kind of like boho and nude palette type of mood board. Totally fits my aesthetic and my type of vibe, so I just love to have it right there on my lock screen. Makes me feel kind of happy and good. It's like a little serotonin boost. So that is my current lock screen on my phone. So now we can go ahead inside and show you what is on my phone. Alright, so this is the inside of my iPhone. This is what you see when you go straight inside of the phone. The wallpaper I got off of Pinterest, just a very simple, minimal picture of a black wave at a black beach. I will try to find the picture of it and link it down in my description, since when I did my last video I got tons of questions about that, so I will try to find it and link it down below. So as far as the layout of my phone, I know most people who have the new iOS 15 have like widgets and pictures all over the place, but when it comes to my phone, I am a lot more like functional, practical type of vibe. I like to have only the things I really need on my phone, which is a massive problem I had on my last phone. I let it get so freaking cluttered. I had like 13,000 pictures I don't use. I had apps I hadn't opened in 6 months. My app library was super cluttered. So now, as a rule of thumb, everything that goes on my phone is more focused on practicality. So if you swipe over to the left side of the screen, these are the only widgets I have on my phone. So the top one is the calendar. I really like this layout from Widgetsmith. It gives you the day of the week and the date of the month, as well as a little layout of the entire month of October. So if I want to see like what day of the month is next Friday, that type of thing, it's right there on the calendar. Then underneath that, I have the little like battery widget, because as you can see from the top of the phone, you can no longer see the actual percentage of the phone, which we used to be able to see on like the iPhone 6S or whatever. So I like having that there, so I can just kind of swipe over and check my battery. Then beside that, I have a Widgetsmith widget that leads to my Entrepreneur Mind Pinterest board. Basically, it rotates every single hour with a new picture that gives you a motivational type of entrepreneur quote. And then underneath that, I have the local weather forecast to know what is the weather going to be throughout the day as well as throughout the week. So instead of having to go into the weather app and dig for all that information, it's all right there in one simple widget. So that is the extent of the layout on the left side tab, I guess I'll call it, of my phone. So then on the first main screen at the very top, I have 4 of the apps I use the most, which are my messages, my personal personal Twitter, phone, and personal Snapchat. And then at the bottom, I have Safari YouTube Studio, which is a godsend. It is a mobile app where you can check all of your YouTube channel analytics and reply to comments. And one of my favorite features about this app is that, let's say somebody watches your video from like a year ago or 2 years ago and leaves a comment, then you are automatically notified of those comments and you can reply to them. So then we have my Instagram, and on Instagram, I've been floating between 9,000 and 8,900 for probably like 2 or 3 months now, mostly because I never post on Instagram and I'm only active on my stories and my DMs. I'm just not somebody who enjoys going on photo shoots and taking like random posed pictures. It's just not my vibe. So I very often don't have pictures for my Instagram and I'm not all that active. But if you want to stay in touch with my 24/7 Insta story or talk in my DMs, then feel free to go ahead and follow me. And then beside that, I have Spotify. This is definitely my most used like subscription, shall we say. I listen to music 24/7, especially this on repeat playlist. This is the one that Spotify automates for you with like all your most listened to music. So I listen to this playlist like 24/7. I absolutely love it. So I use Spotify for like everything. So then sliding over into the second page, these are all of my folders. And like I said, there is absolutely nothing in my app library that is not in these folders. If ever there is anything that I want to put in the app library not on this screen, I will automatically delete it because I want to have absolutely no apps on my phone that I don't use on a daily or weekly basis. So in the first folder, these are all of my daily apps, kind of things that I use less often than the stuff on my main page, but more often than any other apps. So first off, we have Pinterest. This is where I and pretty much everybody else go for all kinds of different inspiration for like quotes and stuff, outfits, pictures, that kind of thing, to get inspired, as the app says. Then I have my Gmail, YouTube, WW is what I use to track what I'm eating and specifically the nutrition of what I'm eating. Then I have my photos, Facebook, camera, NFL. Like I've said a million times, I come from a very intense football family. It's like religion at our house. We watch the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots like every single week, never miss a game. So I use this app to check all the scores and stats, the standings, see when any of the upcoming games are, and all of that. And then speaking of apps I cannot live without, we have CANVA. And I am so excited to say that CANVA is partnering with me on this video, because not only am I going to sit here and tell you guys everything I love about CANVA and CANVA Pro, they also hooked me up with a link for you guys to get 45 days of their Pro version completely for free, so that you guys can take advantage of everything I show you in this video. So if you guys have never seen or heard of CANVA before, it is basically your all-in-one, one-stop shop for all things creative and content creating. If you are a YouTube creator, they have templates for your YouTube thumbnails, channel banners, intros, outros, graphics. Basically, if you guys have ever seen anything even remotely creative or edited on my channel, it has most likely come from CANVA. Then they also have a whole ton of stuff that is not related to YouTube. I use it to get all kinds of Instagram stories. I use it to get all kinds of like printable planners and stuff. So for example, if I go ahead and just type in planner, let's try to spell it properly. It has all kinds of printable and editable types of planners. So monthly planner, weekly planner, to-do list, meal planners, workout planners, budget. So whenever I want to organize something or plan out something, I will go onto here and search for the planner. However, out of anything, my number one most used feature out of CANVA entirely is their background remover, because I love to sometimes cut myself out of my thumbnails and add kind of like a stroke or outline in the picture. But I used to use Photoshop, which took me like 45 minutes to get it looking properly. Then I discovered that CANVA can do it in 5 seconds. So all you do is just import in a picture that you want to edit. Let's say this picture. Then I will click on the picture, go to effects, hit background remover, and in like 5 to 10 seconds, it will completely erase the background and give me just what I want to have in order to outline. So that is by far my number one favorite and most used feature of CANVA. However, I love every single one of their features. I still discover new things every single day, and I don't know how as a creator I survived so long without them, because they are everything. So as I said, there will be a link down in my description if you guys want a 45-day free trial. And even better, if you are part of a creative team, let's say you have like a manager, an editor, a graphic designer, then there is a version of CANVA and CANVA Pro for teams, where for a discounted price of $12.95 every month, you can have have up to 5 people on your creative team and have access to all of their features. And for teams as well, the link for the 45-day free trial also works. So if you guys want to check out Canva, see what they're all about, try out some of their features, I 11 on 10 recommend. So then moving on into the second folder, we have a folder called Useful. These are like my utilities, things I use on a pretty like week by week basis. So first we have Flow, which I use to track my women's cycle and all of that. Then we have Daily Horoscope. If you guys know me at all, you know I am super into astrology and all of that kind of stuff. Horoscopes I take very seriously. So this is probably the most scary accurate horoscope app I've ever seen. I've been using it non-stop pretty much since I was in high school, and it has never been wrong a single day I have read it. So I just come in here every single day and I read my daily horoscope, and it just freaks me right out every day how insanely accurate it is. Then we have Messenger. MyFitnessPal is very similar to WW. However, MyFitnessPal has a much wider database for like restaurants and stuff. So if ever I want to calculate the nutritional information of what I'm eating at a restaurant, then MyFitnessPal is better suited for that. Then we have Renpho. This is tied to my electronic scale, so I can track my like BMI, body fat percentage, all that. Then we have River News, because I am somebody who likes to be up to date with what is happening in the world, both my country and other countries. I want to not be ignorant to what is going on in the world. However, I'm not somebody who wants to watch the news for 2 hours or talk about the news for 2 hours. So River News kind of like condenses everything related to international news and sports news and media entertainment news all in one place. So I can basically just swipe through in like 5 minutes, get a quick little update of everything in the news, and then be done with it for the day and not have to think about it again. Then we have this lovely app called Speed Test. If ever I want to upload something or download something and I'm worried that the upload or download speed is not that great, then I can go ahead and just test it super quickly, and it'll tell me right away how the upload speed is and how the download speed is. So that is a fantastic app to have. And then we have the VaxiCode app. Where I live in Quebec, we are mandated by the vaccine code and the vaccine passport. So if you want to go to movie theater or restaurant or whatever, you have to use this app to prove that you have both vaccinations. So I have the app on my phone and take it with me everywhere I go. Then the next folder is Boards. One here I have my private Tumblr, this wonderful, beautiful app I discovered earlier on this year that is called Game Time. This is an amazing, incredible app where you can buy discounted tickets for sporting events and concerts. I wanted to go to Billie Eilish in February more than anything, and her tickets literally sold out in 5.5 minutes before I could get to them. So I got super lucky here. I hopped onto the app about like an hour after they were up for sale, and I got a pair of tickets and really good seats for a super cheap price. So whenever I want to get tickets to a sporting event or a concert, I hop into this app, and I've gotten some of the best deals on tickets I've ever gotten through this app. Then we have Apple TV. I just watched some of my favorite shows on here. Chicago PD is my favorite show of life, so I watch my episodes in here. Grey's Anatomy, stuff like that. Then we have Disney Plus, which I watch religiously, all of my favorite shows growing up, my favorite Disney movies. Find Unfollow is an app related to my personal Twitter. Then I have Shazam, the most beautiful app in the world. If ever you are in a store somewhere or you hear a song playing somewhere that you want to identify, you just basically open up the app, click the button in the middle, it listens to the song and tells you what it is in roughly about 2 to 10 seconds. I can't tell you how many times I've been bothered by hearing a song in a movie I know that I know, but not being able to identify it. So I just use this app whenever that happens, and it saves my butt. And then we have IMDb, which is basically I think it's called the International Movie Database or something like that. Basically, you can find all kinds of information about different movies and or TV shows. You can also use it to see like what movies are coming to theaters soon. So I just use that to kind of see like what movies are coming. If I want to like identify an actor in a movie, then I can use this to find that out and all of that. Then the next folder is Photos. So in here I have Lightroom, which I use to add presets connects to my Instagram pictures, my YouTube thumbnails, and other kinds of like photo shoots and stuff. Then I have PixArt, that's what I use to make the collages for my thumbnails. Then I have Fonto, which I use to add text over my thumbnails. Camera Connect is the most incredible app that turns your phone into a remote for your DSLR. So if ever I'm not with somebody to take pictures, I can use that to take pictures for myself. And also it's how I take all of my thumbnail pictures from my phone. And then we have Facetune 2, which I sometimes use if I want to either whiten a picture or if I want to blur something out. This is incredible for that. Then the next folder is funds, all things related to shopping and or money. So I have my PayPal and TD Canada, my bank, and then this amazing app called Shop. This is something I only learned about probably like 3-ish months ago, but it is the greatest thing ever. Basically, this app connects to your email address and it will automatically download every single package you have coming to you that you have gotten a confirmation email from in your email address. So when I get packages from Amazon, when I was waiting for my iPhone to be delivered, it will tell you like up to the minute updates where the truck is that is carrying your package. So that is an incredible app and I love it. Then we have the Med folder. This is basically all of my school stuff. If you guys didn't know, I'm currently studying medical assistance, so I use Pulse and Blackboard to access my online courses. And then Quizlet I talked about very briefly in my last vlog. This is one of my #1 can't live without tools for studying and actually getting good grades in school. So basically you use this app to make what is called study sets, where basically you can add a bunch of like terms and things you have to study for school. So for example, let's say this was my overview of the human body exam. So you can either use flashcards, learn, write, match, or test. So let's say I wanted to do the match version. It basically turns all of your information into a match game. And then you can basically just match up all the terms and definitions to study everything you have to know for school. And one of the really cool things is that if you don't necessarily have one of your own sets, but you do want to study that matter, there is a search tab, and pretty much every single time I've ever searched for it, I have found somebody else somewhere in the world who has created a study set for the very same topic, which saves me a whole lot of time. So definitely this is one of my ride or die, can't live without apps where school is concerned. Then my next folder is games. These are all the games I spend way too much time on, especially Cookie Clicker 2. This is the newest version of the Cookie Clicker game I was totally obsessed with in high school, so it's safe to say that I am more than addicted to it. So the games I have are Tiny Crossword Plus, Song Pop Party, 4 Picks 1 Word, Family Feud Live, and Webkinz Classic. Okay, if anybody grew up playing Webkinz, this is basically the mobile version where instead of like having access to the whole like Webkinz world, you can basically play all the games that were in the original arcade in Webkinz. So if ever you played like Smoothie Moves or Cash Cow or Tile Tower or any of those games, you can access all those like old childhood throwback games in this app. Yes, I am that person. And then the final folder on my app is the one called Apple. These are all the Apple apps that I use not as often as the other ones, but the ones that I do still use, and then everything else that I don't use has been deleted. So all the like podcast app, the iTunes store app, I don't use any of that. So that has all been deleted, and now only the ones that I do use on a daily or weekly basis. So yeah, you guys, that is everything that is currently on my iPhone 13 Pro. Honestly, would not be surprised if I have a new wallpaper and new layout literally in like a week or two, but for the moment, that is what is on my iPhone and how I have it all laid out. So for those of you guys who were requesting it and asking for it, I hope you got what it is you were looking for. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you all for watching. Love you all to the moon and back, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!